Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend, and I'm back. It's Sunday, the 19th of September. I hope everybody is well. I've got the list going already. I'm not sure if KK's here yet. I sent it to you late. I apologize. As always, I am not a lawyer, a doctor, a financial advisor, or a therapist. If you need one of those, please seek those. All readings and divinations are for the purposes of entertainment only, as in accordance with the law. I am a spiritualist reverend, an ordained reverend, and this is part of giving messages from spirit is actually part of our religious beliefs. So I'm sort of covered under those auspices. I'm just waiting to see my chat shows up. Give me a moment. Come on, pop out. Let's see, we'll do pop out and see if that works better. There we are. Oh, KK's here. Okay. So I guess I'll just do it as a pop out today. Let me see if it opens up on its own now. Oh, there we are. Good. Fantastic. Okay. I have been doing these manifesting spiritually chats on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I hope you will join me during those, or you get to watch them afterwards. I'm sort of being guided to that. Again, I love manifesting. It works. There is something to be said for mindset. And, it's not about always being positive, but, shifting your belief systems so that you create the life that you want. And everything that ever was and ever will be was always created in somebody's mind. So let's create the things we want instead of continuing to create the things that we don't want. Correct? Correct. So I kind of want to show you the ways that I've learned, things that work for me, my observations in the world. Hi, Mariana. Hi, Starry Sky and Elizabeth and Exina Maldonado. Hello, Linda. So I'm doing those. I'm really enjoying them. And we'll see where we go from there. I am literally so on the cusp of 1,000 subscribers, you guys. And that has never been like my massive goal, but it is kind of, that is like the threshold. I don't know. Hi, Ashley. I don't know what else is going on. Just doing the mom thing, doing the spiritual thing. I hope everybody is well and enjoying life. Maybe we'll send out a little healing. Mallory, we'll send some to your foot. Starry Sky will send some to you. Okie doke. So we'll close our eyes and remember, it doesn't matter if you know exactly who it's going to, just send the energy out into the universe. There is someone who could use it. I'm certain of it. So we'll send those intentions out into the universe now. Take a moment and just visualize a white light in the center of your chest. It's a glowing and warm and brilliant white light. And the universe will work through you. The energy does not come from you. Send your intention out. You can visualize the earth. You can visualize a group of people, specific people. I'm just asking that the divine universe send this energy out into the universe to whomever needs it. Those that are suffering and need healing. Those that are suffering from heartache and loss and need comfort. Those that are ravaged by the fires or by any flooding, are still struggling from flooding. Out to those women in the state of Texas and Georgia and any other state where controlling a woman's body and being oppressive is overtaking their right to choice based on somebody else's religious beliefs. Sending out and calling to send out healing out to Haiti and to Afghanistan, and to those at the border in Mexico. And I don't know what's going on in Nigeria, but to Nigeria right now. And we ask with love, and we send with love, and it is with gratitude that we have the moments to do this. Amen. Okay, let's go, shall we? So, Jessica, you just have to, was right. You got to keep your job. Yay, rock on. Congratulations. Someone else had asked me a while ago on here something about her living situation. And she messaged me on Instagram, and I didn't get to say, I didn't share this yet, but I guess I had said to her that her brother didn't have a problem with her, just her stuff. And in the flooding in New Jersey, their house was like, it looked like, she sent me a video of it on Instagram. And it looked like her house was just set in the middle of a river. It was bad. It was high and the water was moving fast. And she said the stuff that she was able to salvage of her own from the basement was moved upstairs. And she said, I remembered what you said, and I tried to put my stuff aside so that my stuff wasn't bothering him, because she's staying at friends right now. I thought that was interesting how things kind of come out when I'm like, I don't know where this comes from. That is your intuition with no knowledge of how you have information, right? I got the $10, Meg. So we've got the list going. If we want to start with Elisabeth, if you would like to start with your question, I'll answer yours first. I hope everybody is well and happy. And if you're not, we are sending you love. Remember, you are the source of your happiness, nobody outside of yourself. So just reprogram. I got to do a reading for a woman the other night, and it was really exciting because I like teaching the manifesting stuff. So it was like the first half was me reading her energy, and the second half was we're just kind of working on manifesting and helping her with her affirmations to make her feel more confident about what it was I was seeing. Suzanne, these are not free readings. They are $5 per question with 30% going. I donate at the end of the, whenever I log off of here, I immediately go over to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey and donate 30% of the whatever I make here, and it's 30% off the top. So I don't take it after PayPal takes their cut. I just take it from the top. And KK can give you the link for that PayPal. And I'll check my PayPal in a minute. I wanted to know about the future of my relationship, marriage. And do you mind telling me if I see marriage, house, kids, or whatever I can pick up? Could you please tell me your boyfriend's name again? I don't remember it from the email. I think, did you say Carlos? But I don't know if that's right. Yes, Carlos. I remembered correctly. My memory gets sharper and sharper every day. Should I start saying that as my affirmation? Okay, Dupree, I'll check in just a moment. So the first thing I asked is, and I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit more, but it was interesting to me. I literally heard he's wishy-washy. It's like one day he's talking about marriage, and the next day he's like, oh, I don't know, maybe we should slow down. And it's not that he wants to break up. It's just he gets ahead of himself and kind of panics. And then backpedals a little bit, because he worries about, he very much worries about having everything, his ducks in a row, and money. And they just said to me a scarcity mindset. I feel like growing up, they struggled a little bit more. And so he is always security has been a thing for him, financial security. Does this resonate at all? Okay, Allie, I'll check. Michelle, you came back. Good to know you. Okay. Okay. So after Regine, I have Mariana for one. Mariana G. Then I have Allie for two, and I have Michelle Ho for one. And if anybody else gave and isn't on here yet, I will. Oh, okay. That's Dupree is Michelle. Okay. Sorry, dear. I didn't mean to give your name away. Okay. So I just keep feeling like there's this push and pull back and forth where it's like one day I'm like all in, ready to plan the whole thing. And then the next day I kind of back up and I feel like I'm not fully present. And it's a lot of like this back and forth. I want you to understand this. What they're telling me is it's not about you and it's not about his love for you. It's about stuff going on with it. They're telling me attachment issues within him and showing me like loose attachment, like feeling like being completely vulnerable is very hard for him and very scary for him. And they said he will do all right. He will grow through the years. I know this is not directly answering your question, but it's getting there. Okay. He will do all right. He will grow through the years and he's willing to grow through the years. So those are all good signs. It's important. They're saying it's important for you to not pressure him or make him feel like he's being cornered, because he's like, he'll get like a scared little kitty cat where it's like he panics and won't know what to do and kind of lash out a little bit. So it's sort of like relax a little bit and know that it's all coming to you. He said he will be yours, meaning he will be your husband. But in time, and it's sort of like just relax a little bit and enjoy the journey, because feeling like you need the answers now is all it's doing is sort of giving out this vibration of not being secure in your relationship. So I feel like he's good at what he does. He makes a good living and everything else, but I feel like he's always planning for a rainy day. So that's a scarcity mindset. When you save to plan for a rainy day, that's a scarcity mindset. You're planning on something to go wrong and you're not going to have income anymore. And it's sort of like, they said, you need to manifest differently for him. So you need to see that money will always be fine. Money is always coming in. And then also just like take the pressure off. So this one thing I did one time when I was, I had a harder time getting pregnant with my first daughter, or not harder, it just took longer. I had happened to do some meditations and saw that I had lost several children in past lives. And what's funny is I went to my friend Sam and I was like, what's going on? And he's an energetic healer. And he's like, this is what I'm getting. And he got exactly what I got in my meditations. And he goes, let's do this. And it was like, sort of this, like, it's okay. It was like, it's okay to be a mother. It's okay not to be a mother. It's okay to be pregnant. It's okay not to be pregnant. So it feels like, it's like, you need to release this pressure of that. You have to be married to be whole and complete, because you don't, you are whole and complete on your own. And like doing the, like, it's okay to be married. It's okay not to be married. It's okay to be in love. It's okay not to be in love. Like, because I am whole and complete on my own. I am happy. Being in a relationship is a preference, not a necessity. Having a partnership is a preference and not a necessity. And they're talking about, it's a contract, like a marriage is a contract. And if you were entering a business with a partner, you wouldn't constantly be like, where are we at? What's going on? When is this going to happen? Like, it would create pressure and the person would be like, what the fuck? I can't deal with this for the rest of my life. Like, this is a lot. Like, it would create an imbalance. It would create mistrust. It would create, too much pressure. And like, really, like, you have to have the conversations and then like sort of like step back and watch it all unfold. They're saying 2 or 3 children. So for sure 2, the third is a choice. And then I'm also getting, again, for timing too, 2 or 3 years. So it's like maybe the engagement comes in 2 years and then marriage in 3. And I know this seems like a long way away since you already know him. But it just feels like, first of all, time passes so quickly. And it just feels like also like something happens where timing has to fall into place the right way. Like there's just life events that sort of like push that to the background a little bit. Does any of this resonate at all? I know a lot of it's future, but Ashley, if you want to post your question too. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. This is a really lovely community of people that pop in and out or here a little bit more regularly. We all like to support each other in our own successes and our own growth. There are no messages of doom and gloom. I do not do that. Someone else may. I do not believe in curses. I think twin flames are your own manifestation. So if you believe in them, then you're going to create them. But I don't believe in them. I don't think that there's, I believe that I welcome in my own events in my life to awaken myself and grow and develop, and that I don't need that to be in my romantic partnerships. So that will cause you to grow and develop, but I don't need, twin flames just sound awfully dysfunctional and strange to me. I do believe in soulmates, but more in the idea of that we have soul families that we travel with. I don't think there's just one partner that you could have. Is anyone here? Allie, is anyone here? Ashley, do you want to ask your question? Okay. Oh, that could be what that is, the 2 or 3. So here's my question, Elizabeth. If he's already proposed, why would you ask if you were going to get married? My question to you, and this is not psychic, this is like literally like he plans on 2 kids of our own. Okay, so then that's the 2 or 3, because I'm seeing 2, 3. So I'm not wrong there. Second, you're in that plan too, so make sure it's something you want. Third, I literally had someone, this is a reverend I work with, and he asked me at a, so maybe you get married 2 or 3 years from now, like 2.5, somewhere in there. I can't always be exact about time. So, but maybe you obviously haven't had the wedding yet and you're almost now engaged for a year. That's okay. This reverend I worked with asked me about buying a house. And I was like, I don't see it for like another 2 years. And it was funny because I mentioned not Westchester, but he ended up in Westchester, but they were in the middle of purchasing this home. And he's like, okay, whatever. We're in the middle of purchasing a home right now. Now I could have sat there in that moment and go like, oh, I'm wrong. That house fell through. They lost a whole bunch of money. The house fell through and they didn't buy a house for another 2 years. So I don't know why, if you're already engaged, you're not married yet, but I still see 2 to 3 years. So maybe it's 2 years from engagement that you get married, or it's 2 years from now. I don't know, but I saw 2 or 3. So I can only give you what I want. So disappointing? I don't know. 2 or 3 kids, like, because I saw 2, 3. Sometimes it's mixed the way I get it. So maybe it's you 2 have 2 together and he has his daughter and she is a child of yours, whether you gave birth to her or not. I don't know. You asked because you've engaged before and it went downhill. Okay, so let's look at manifesting then, because I really believe in manifesting, and that's where your doubt is coming from. So there is a core self-belief that you're not chosen. There is a core self-belief that you're not worthy. There is a core self-belief that you're not lovable enough to stick it out. So what I encourage you to do, okay, perfect. So what I encourage you to do is remind yourself, when you start to doubt or have fear, start going into affirmations. I am chosen, not chosen. I am chosen. I am worthy. I am valuable. I am lovable. I love myself. I am beautiful. I am kind. I am a good mother. I am a good person. I like doing the of courses. Of course, he's going to be married to me. Of course, I have nothing to worry about. Raise your value, invest in yourself. We spend a lot of time investing in others, especially as women. We invest our fears, we invest our doubts, we invest our, oh, am I good enough for them? Invest in yourself. Are they good enough for me? So invest in yourself. That's what the affirmations are doing. You putting the investments in yourself, raise your value because you already are valuable. So know your value, know your worth. And then he'd be a fool not to choose it. So I said that I saw you being together. I said that I saw all of these things. There is stuff on his end, but if you change what's going on within you, that has to be reflected outside of you. So the universe goes, oh, you don't think you're valuable? You don't think you're worthy? We'll give you more of that. We'll give you opportunities and show you that because we want to bring you what you want. We want to bring you what you're creating up here. So create, invest in yourself and reprogram it and create what you deserve. And you deserve the world. You deserve that love, that long-lasting love. You deserve that partnership and companionship. Okay? It's funny, and not funny in like a funny haha way, but interesting. How I see you guys like just spurred out, like where your blocks are. But I say this, that I do that too. Like sometimes the answer is the most obvious and we think, oh, it can't be that simple. And really it can be that simple. Okay. I'll check donations in just a minute. I will look for messages from your dad, George. So I hope that's helpful, Elizabeth. Maybe go back and listen to some of my, just start listening to my manifestation stuff. I've got stuff coming up with like how to rate your manifestations, and I'm constantly getting information from my guides about what would be helpful for you guys. And they're like 20 or 30 minutes. You can just listen to them. You don't have to watch me. I'm not doing anything fantastic or exciting, just chatting. And hopefully it becomes helpful to you. You're very, very welcome. Okay, let's see if George is here. I don't know what this means, so I'm just sharing to you. Like he cleared his throat and he's like, I'm here. I'm always here. So I feel like he's like around you a lot. And he said something about you need to get going on that thing she's doing. I'm like, what's that thing she's doing? Like, let's be a little more vague. And he said that thing with the mirror. So I don't know if you've got some kind of art project or you're refinishing something but he showed me something with the mirror, or if it's like I don't know if that means a metaphorical mirror, but I kind of feel like it might be a real mirror because it feels like a mirror maybe above a dresser or above it feels like antique looking dresser. It reminds me of my grandmother's dresser from like, the 40s or 50s where it's, I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, let me look to see who's paid. There we go. Leo sign I have for 1. And EC I have for 2. Okay, okay, so there's something about a mirror. So I don't know what that means. Have you been thinking about hanging a mirror? Like, I don't know what this is. It's like he showed a mirror, he said a mirror. So I don't know what that means. And it feels like it's something he wouldn't really understand. So I don't know if you're crafty or if there's some kind of art project I don't know what this is. Do you have something for your students with a mirror you're doing? But it feels like don't delay. Okay, so hold on to that because maybe it's something you're supposed to be doing and it'll like come to you. And I feel like within the next few weeks it'll make sense. Um, I don't know why, but he's also telling me that you're staying up late at night worrying. And it's just, he's reassuring you that everything's going to fall into place okay. And you need to not worry so much that like everything's going to be falling into place. He goes, worry never got me anywhere. I feel like he worried a lot too. He's like, worry never got me anywhere. It was just a waste of time, he said. There's something with a mirror though. So I did feel like it was something crafty and whatever, but I also feel like there's something with a mirror. There's still issues. Okay, so everything's going to be all fine. Because he made me feel like you're staying there. Everything's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. Just relax. It's all falling into place. He's talking about some kind of like for your sickness, because I was like, why are you worried about that? Like, should she be worried? And he's like, no. He's like, it feels like a tea, but it has more of a medicinal like, and like I keep feeling like either like elderberry or I'm hearing like at first I heard kombucha or sambucha or whatever, and then I'm like sambuca, and I think that's alcohol. I don't think that's the way to go. But it feels like there's something more like holistic-y. So I don't know if he was more hippie-ish and into like more of a holistic type medicinal regimen. He says you need more fiber in your diet. I don't know. I literally like. Oh, okay. That's it. That's all. So it's like maybe saying keep drinking that. I think some of this sounds weird, like because I'm like, I don't, it's just more to validate it that it's him because it seems so like, he just keeps wanting to reassure you. So I don't know if this is what he did when he was in his life. He would just say, like, he just keeps saying over and over, you're going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Like you're worrying yourself sick. So stop calling all that in. Stop doing that. Because remember, you create what you believe. He's talking about this. So I don't know if he believed in mindset or like, but he's talking about it. Okay. So just know that he's with you. You're not alone. Everything's going to work out. Stop worrying. Just, it's done. Trust that it's done and it's taken care of. My dad said it was done. Anna said it was done. That's it. We're done. It's taken care of. Like, find something else to worry about. Because this isn't something you need to worry about. Okay. I used to tell like my patients, when you're a nurse, you're trained like for all kinds of emergencies and you just get used to stuff being chaotic. Or, just like you get used to stuff where it's like, we have to remember that somebody's experiencing something for the first time that we see every single day, in order to like have the empathy that they're, going through. But I remember saying to I would say, I get countless numbers of times to patients, like when I look worried, you can worry. When I get worried, you get to get worried. So when your dad says he's worried, then you can be worried. But about this, you're not allowed to be worried because your dad said he did. Like, don't worry about this. Don't waste your time worrying about this. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your everyday. Stop worrying about it because it's going to fall into place. And just know it, trust it, see it, feel it, and be done with it. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave you with that. Hello. Welcome, everybody who's here. I'm so glad you joined us today. I'm here every Sunday at 4 p.m. doing readings. KK is my incredibly wonderful admin, so please be kind to her. After EC, I have Laura for 2. Laura H. I got Linda and Nicole up next. Linda, do you see Arjun and I being able to meet in person in 2022? What do you see for us? So it's funny, they immediately jumped to 2023, but I don't feel like that's when you'll first see him. I feel like that's when you see big movement between the two of you. I feel like that's when you're more together. So I feel like the in-person meeting will happen 2022. I feel like it'll be more in the spring because it feels like for whatever reason, travel is easier then. You're welcome, Ashley. So I'm going to say the same thing to you is see yourself meeting him, do the same things that we talked about. I talked about last week, I think about manifesting him and just being like, it's all working out. Everything's falling into place. We're able to meet. We're able to see each other. His family approves, all of that stuff. Though, like, you could do the, like, I'm going to talk about this one this week where it's like, of course they approve. I'm amazing. They see how amazing I am. Because it gives you the outcome, of course, like it's a given, right? So it helps kind of like disarm it from being like, oh my God, like the of course in front of it is so like disarming. And then it's like, because is the I am part, right? Owning how amazing you are. Okay. That's where you have doubt. And why would you be deluding yourself? If you really believe in manifesting, then you believe that you get what you deserve, right? And we deserve whatever we want. We deserve all of our desires. If you believe in manifesting, you believe that anything and everything is possible and it's already done and you're just pulling it into your experience. So why would you, like, this is where then your block comes up, is why do you think that you're delusional? Why are you putting him on a pedestal that he's so freaking amazing that you can't have him? How about you're so freaking amazing and you're giving him the opportunity to be with you, to experience life with you? Why is he so amazing? Like, again, this is like we put somebody out there ahead of us and like, oh, I hope I'm good enough. Fuck that. You're good enough. You're better than good enough. You are amazing. Own it. Own it every single day. Look, I started these affirmations and I never used to look in the mirror and be like, I'm pretty. I would just be like, all right, good enough, whatever. Like, or I'd be like, oh, your nose has a bump. I have these like spots and dots. Like, you can't see them here, but I can. Little chin hair, you know. Like, we all have stuff we don't like. Or like my thighs are a little bigger. I carry my weight in my butt and my thighs. Like my boobs aren't big enough. Like, name it. I have criticized the shit out of myself. And I started doing the nighttime affirmations and I started like really owning who I am. I started doing my daytime affirmations because why the fuck should I keep poisoning myself? There's, I'll talk about this too. There's a verse in the Bible and it basically says like, evil isn't this like outside force. Evil is the negative thoughts that you have against yourself. You're not forcing your will into the universe. You're not. So if you watch my manifesting videos, watch them. I talk about this there, where I'm like, I truly believe that if it wasn't meant to be yours, if it wasn't even on the options table, like on the buffet table of your buffet table of experiences in life, it would not be the draw, or the intention wouldn't be there. The idea or the intuition to have it wouldn't be there. It just wouldn't. And then, oh my God, what if he gets there and you're just like, yeah, he's really not all that. I really built him up to be something. Okay, move on. You haven't lost anything. You've learned. Nobody's going to die if you manifest him into your life and you keep doing it. But you have to believe that it's possible. You have to know that it's possible. So pick other little things along the way to manifest, to know that you can have whatever it is you want. You're not delusional. You're doubting yourself because you've been given a lifetime of programming that says you can't have what you want. You have to struggle for it. You have to really earn it, whatever the fuck earn it means. You can only have so much. You can have whatever you want. It is a buffet table. And like, we all have our own little buffet. And look, not everybody wants the same thing. Listen to me. You may really want Arjun, but it doesn't mean that every other woman in the world wants him. And like, it's only the deserving that get it. Like, what's that? Okay. And I'll leave you with that. Let me go to Nicole and then I'll hit Deborah. Oh man, Meg, I might ask you to reprint those because you're close enough. Okay. I won't bug you to do that. Can you tell me about my current job's future? Like, what are Mark's intentions with me? I mean, that could be dirty, I'm kidding. Promotion or replacing. I'm involved in a hiring process for another employee. I got promotion right away, actually, when you said that. Like, as I was reading everything, I heard promotion really loud and clear. And I feel like it's about 6 months out. And it does come with a pay raise. But I don't know, is there some other benefit that you would get from this? Like either more vacation or like where it feels like or some kind of stocks or something, but it feels like it might not be immediately tangible, but that it is an extra benefit. I feel like through this hiring process and through a few other things that happen in the next 6 months where he sees like, okay, she's earned it, but it's like sort of, this is like the test period, whatever. And whatever this means, he's on your side. So I don't know if there's some kind of discord that comes up or some kind of like feeling that like he's over there and I'm over here, but it feels like you're on a team, he's on your side. Like, stop making it, don't put him on that pedestal. I know that like, it was really interesting to me when I worked in Texas, at Texas Children's, they were really, really cool about having interdisciplinary rounds and really listening to the nurses, because the nurses are at the bedside all the time, and really respecting your opinions. And I actually if I needed anything or if I saw things they missed or whatever, like the attendings were always really, really great about listening to us. They didn't make us feel like we were, bowing down to their whatever. So I've never been intimidated by doctors because of that. I'm like, they're just people. We're all working together. We're on a team. They are not my boss. They are not my superior. At the end of the day, their decision stands, and I have to trust that they're making the decision based on, the knowledge that I don't have that they have, but we're still a team, right? And it feels like you need to take him off the pedestal a bit. Yes, he's your boss, and ultimately his decision stands. But your insight and your wisdom is valuable, and you need to like own that. Don't put him on a pedestal. It's just like with a relationship, a romantic relationship. So he's your superior, but that doesn't mean like that you're not valuable or shouldn't be heard or any of that stuff. So it's like, he's on your team. Because listen to me, and let me say this clearly, there could be a whole bunch of bosses in the world, but the work doesn't get done without the people below them. The company doesn't get run, the business doesn't get, like the product doesn't get sold. The stuff doesn't happen just because you have a whole bunch of bosses out there. the hospitals the world would not go around with just a whole bunch of doctors there. Okay. Like, so I saw some med student who hadn't even or was about to start their residency was like, anybody can program a pump. And I was like, oh, she's in for a rude awakening. Because I watch a lot of doctors not know what the hell to do with a pump. A, B, yeah, anybody can do a pump, but you can't do your job without other people. So you're a part of a team. Remember that. Yeah, sure. If you want to donate, go ahead. Okay. So affirmations. I passed the test. I get hired. Of course, I would do an amazing job that would make him recognize and see, because I am a rock star employee. I am amazing. I'm really good at what I do. My opinions matter. My voice matters. I'm valuable. I get generously compensated for the work that I do. Okay, sure. I'll check. Excellent. All right, Miss Devery, you're up, and then Meg. And then I think we're going to probably close the list because it's getting full. Okay, after Laura, I have Sunflower Soul. I'll probably ask you to retype the question for one question and Shar for two. And then we will be done for the day, or that the list will be closed. It's just, we don't want to be here all day. Both questions posted. Okay, I'm searching. All right, Debris. My dose has been put to 2 tabs now with ibuprofen, but so far it hasn't worked for I am still in pain. Not yet, Allie. You've got several people down the list. There we go, Debris. And I believe it's okay. Wait. Oh, that's the second one. Let me go back to the first one. Okay. I'm still in pain and breakthrough. So question 1, can adding iron and vitamin C help, or should I stop it altogether? Don't stop it altogether. I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time to regulate the level. So it feels like it just hasn't quite balanced out yet. And hasn't met a therapeutic dose in your blood yet. Okay, so they're talking about doing non-medical things to help with your pain. So using drinking warm fluids versus cold fluids. So you want to drink warm fluids. Don't drink with a straw. They're like in my head. They're like, remember what you used to tell postpartum C-section patients? I'm like, oh yeah, and post-surgical patients. So I had abdominal surgery. So it feels like if you can't get out and walk, whatever, if you're kind of just sitting around your house and you feel like, if you don't have a rocking chair, just kind of rock back and forth and sit with a heating pad or a warm compress on your stomach, on your abdominal area, because it just feels like it will be soothing. And then drinking warm fluids versus cold fluids, because I feel like, yes, you're having pain from cramping and things like that, but I also feel like it's being exacerbated by gas pains. So it's like you're having everything. Don't drink out of straws. Don't drink carbonated fluids. And I also feel there's some constipation going on. So it's like, drink more water. It's just your body's adjusting to all of the progesterone changes too. So it's like creating other stuff. So I just feel like some of this needs to be addressed non-medicinally and do more of the therapeutic care that you would do going along with stuff. So it's like eating foods that are easily digestible, eating foods that help move stuff along. So anything that would normally give you any, I would eat chicken instead of eating beef, because they're talking about things that are just make an option that's more easily digestible than like something else. And then also, I keep getting the warm fluid thing kind of coming up. So it's like drink, I know it's boring, drink warm water, drink some tea. Let me just look and see if you've typed anything in a comment. And if you're going to add vitamin C, add it in your food. Don't take the pill. Take it in with your food. Just make sure you're eating. If you're feeling like, oh, my intuition is telling me I need more of this, eat an orange. Buy those little tiny clementines. Those taste really good and they're easy to like pop in your mouth and have as a snack. It just feels like really, and I keep being shown broccoli, and broccoli creates gas, but I don't know what broccoli is high in. I know that's not like exactly what you want to hear, but I just feel like don't stop. I feel like it's just sort of leveling off and your body's getting really used to it. And it's, it isn't just about regulating periods and stuff like that. It's about your hormones affect other stuff in your body. Okay. I had a vivid dream of someone in dark shadow form trying to communicate with me, and I believe it's my spirit guide. So question 2 is, what is it that he is telling me? I want further communication. I feel ready. Beautiful. So you're going to set the intention before you go to sleep. As you lay there and you're about to drift off to sleep, you just kind of say, okay, I'm ready, I'm open, I'm willing, I'm accepting to connect with my guide. You could also, I have that meditation for meeting your guide. So if you're ready, you could try that. It's not scary. Your guide isn't ever going to tell you anything that you're not aware of. They're never going to do anything that's going to freak you out or depress you or make you feel terrible or scared. They just aren't. They want to help you on your journey. That's why they're a guide. So they're not going to be like, MRFer, let's go. Like, this is what a terrible person you are. They're not, that's not them. So it could be in the dark shadow because it's either not important for you to see what they look like, or you're not fully ready to see it, but they're there and they're in the background. Sometimes I think we get afraid that they're going to tell us like all these deep, dark things that we didn't know about ourselves. And they're not. You've experienced all of this stuff in life already, and you have the belief systems already. And so they're really wanting us to grow and have the best experience here. So I don't know if this froze or what. There's been no comments for a little bit. So, you either set the intention before you go to bed that you want to meet with him. I feel like it's guide, because I feel like if I agree with you that I feel like it's the guide and not a family member. And even when you do my meditation, I have it's like this could be for loved ones or for guides. So why don't you set it up and set the intention that you want it to be I'm going in this with the intention of meeting with my guides and gathering information that would better help me on my journey, or comfort or reassurance or validation, whatever it is that you want to know about. Do that as you fall asleep at night too. It might take a few nights or even a couple weeks before you really kind of like feel like and then also set the intention to easily remember your dreams. That's important too. It might take a little bit of time, even sometimes when I'm like, all right, if this is the path and the journey I'm supposed to go on, let me start dreaming about it. And I remember I did that. Like I was starting the process of, I came to New York to visit for a weekend, a guy that I had grown up with. And he worked and I was kind of off doing my own thing while he was at work. And I was like, I could see myself here. Like I could see myself walking in the city every day, going to work. And so I started like looking at doing travel positions as a travel nurse, because I was reading about taking permanent jobs and there wasn't a lot of great comments, a lot of staffing issues, staffing shortages, a lot of stuff where I was like, and I wasn't sure what hospital system would be great. So I came up as a travel nurse, and but when I was like starting the process, I was like, is this really what I do? Because I had to apply for a New York license, and then I had to, go through a whole bunch of the odds and ends of it and background checks and everything else. And I started like Jenna just putting out there, if I'm supposed to be doing this is the right place to go, because I wasn't also fully into the whole law of assumption. And I started having dreams about it, and like weird dreams, like not me in the hospital or them going, yep, this is it. It was like weird dreams. So that when it came up, when I was actually in New York, like I dreamt about my apartment before I moved in, my first studio that they moved me in, which was right across from the Morgan Library. And it was a cool, like old pre-war studio. And then I dreamt about curling my hair like I do now, but it was like I curl it up my finger and then down, and I was like, why the hell am I curling my hair? It's already curly. Like I used to fix my hair differently. And it was just all these synchronicities that like when I was here, then I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. So it just feels like set the intention to have the dreams about it, and then set the intention about your guide, and set the intention to remember your dreams. What does your guide want you to know? They actually said to me, it's okay to look at your shadow self, like that side of you that's not perfect and presentable, because you've been through the worst, and like this is the time now to really dig deep and heal it all. Hi, Joe's Mystics. Yeah, the list is closed now, but you could come back next Sunday if you join my if you subscribe, if you're not subscribed, or if you join my email list. Like I sent out the email yesterday, and people on my email list purchased yesterday. So I try not to have you do it before I send that out, because then I tend to forget. It's like, it's just easier. So, all right. Meg, your questions. I hope that answered your question, Devery, and satiated your desire to know. Kathy's question, your mom. What should I do with my time now? Why are you asking me, Kathy? What do you want to do? I'm kidding. And then Meg says, it's a smart decision for me to sell my condo and buy the farmhouse in Mequon that has 2 outbuildings as Airbnbs. Ooh, that's fancy. Look at that. Do you have a cough right now, Meg? Because it's funny, when I read your mom's question, didn't feel that, but when I read your question, I felt that. All right, so let's look at Mamala. Do y'all watch? There's this guy on, I guess he's on TikTok, but I follow him. I have a thing on TikTok, but I don't do anything with it, and I actually took the TikTok thing off of my phone because I felt like it was chewing up battery, and I like whatever. Anyway, so this guy is on Instagram, and he does the Shamala Hamala stuff, and he fucking cracks me up. And I think he's from the Midwest, and like he's probably around my age, like went to college around my age, like grew up around the same time I did. So it's like funny to me because some of the things he says, I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so Kathy, so this is what they said to me. They said, crafting, sewing, whatever she wants, but now is not the time for part-time work. So it feels like she's been thinking about getting another job, and it feels like it needs to wait until spring. Though I do feel like doing something like, I don't know if there's a craft fair or something she was thinking about in November, which is crazy to me because I'm like, how would she have enough stuff? Or how would she, like, it's like maybe doing something like that, but I feel like nothing permanent until the spring. And I don't know why they're saying it this way, but it's like, this is your time to rest and recuperate. So I don't know if something came up for your mom that would be a need for her to recuperate. Go get it checked out. I mean, it could just be an allergy thing, but go get it checked out. Like, let's not ignore our bodies. I don't feel like it's anything serious, but I also feel like don't ignore your body. It talks to you all the time. People used to say like, oh, it must be hard when I worked in the NICU. And I'm like, actually, the patients that don't talk to you are easier to figure out what's going on, because the ones who do talk to you, like you see something going on and then they're like, no, like they sit in denial, or like, oh, well, like they lead you off into another whole circle of like bewilderment where like with babies, I'm like, I knew what was going on. I knew when they were gassy. I knew like, because it was all just me looking at, their behavior, and the words get all mixed up. Don't ignore your body. Don't ignore your body. Okay. So does this make sense for Kathy? She does need to recuperate. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay, then. So let's look at the house in Mequon for you. So it's like sort of like just do what makes her happy, follow her bliss and her joy right now. And then like the job stuff is later. Okay, so I want to read your question again for. To sell my condo and buy the farmhouse in Mequon that has 2 outbuildings as Airbnbs. Oh, man. So I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I'm going to tell you what I see when I look at that farmhouse, and then you decide if you want to get into that or not. Because either way, I think that you would go and have it. It feels like if I put in an offer, it'd be like with the contingency to sell my condo, and that my condo sells, and the contingency that like everything checks out that you're going to be able to. And I just feel like there's some major plumbing issues. And there's also like, there's 2 outbuildings, but I feel like either they're not connected to, and I don't know how Mequon is. I don't know if they're like, I mean, they're rural, but they're not like, it doesn't like, it feels like it's going to be an investment in either connecting like to city sewage or a main sewage line, because I don't know if you have or putting in what are those big I can't think of what it's called, when you don't connect to city sewage and plumbing, where you have your own like poop collector. I don't know what it's called. I can't think of it because we don't have one. But it feels like it needs something like significant. It's not just a like we buy it and like change the interior and paint it and like it's a $30 or $30 like a $30,000 like zhuzh up. It feels like it's an investment to zhuzh it up. And they keep showing me wood like that's rotted, like I don't know if it's the siding that will have to be completely replaced or what, but it feels like exteriorly, it feels like there's some pretty significant work that has to be done. A septic tank. Thank you. God bless you, KK. Yeah. So does it need that put in? Because it just feels like the work that's going to have to be done is significant. So now they're sort of just saying like, it would be a good investment either way, but okay, so that's a validation for you. Your mom woke up this morning saying that she was worried about the plumbing and the exterior work. So my feeling is it's not that it would be bad one way or the other, but do you want to take on that big of a project? Is that in your wheelhouse of like, this is how I envision my life going? Because it doesn't feel like it. So I was listening, I don't know who this guy, figure out who it was. I stumbled upon because the YouTube gods put this guy in my YouTube path. And his grandfather learned directly from Neville Goddard. And he kind of says this thing like, you'll get whatever you want, but know that there's a price for it, right? So like he was saying how Neville was teaching them to manifest $3 million. And back then it would be like, $30 million or more. And, but with that comes a price. So what would be the price? But you'll be a totally different person, right? So maybe you're working all the time. Maybe because you're like, you bring in that much wealth and stuff, and it's totally easy to do, but maybe you're going to be working all the time now. And do you really want to be working all the time? So maybe you should, like, it's not about, is it possible you'll be able to get it done? It'll be fine, but there might be a lot of stuff that comes along with that vision. So they're sort of just saying, do you really want that? We'll give it to you, but if you have to make sure you really want it. They're showing me what's like on the table for that one. I feel like you'll be happy there, but again, you're not going to be able to get there for a little while. So it may be that you buy it and you may have to rent somewhere else first. So it's like, make sure you have, or stay with a friend for a little while, make sure that you have the money set aside for that if necessary. So it's not really, they're not really saying like, is this a great idea? They're like, this is what happened. This is like two paths diverge. You go this way, you're fine. Like, I feel like your condo is a great investment. It's really like good value. So if you like where you're at, I sort of like, I listen to you. And so it's like that feeling of like, I like to look at Zillow all the time. I like looking at different houses, but I've liked looking at houses since I was a little girl. Like, I've always looked at houses and thought, I wonder what they live like in there. I wonder what the people are like who live there. I always loved touring those really big old mansions. There's like some really cool ones in Galveston. And I remember even as a little girl, I saw it had like a huge, I was going to call it a terrarium, but that's not what I meant. Like a greenhouse on the inside, and it had all this beautiful green tile, and like the bathroom had like 12 different shower heads, which was like unheard of in the early 1900s. And I was just like, I can't believe people live this way. It's just insane. And the woodwork and all of that stuff. So like, I'm sort of obsessed with all that. So it just feels like you can do whatever you want. Do you want all of that work with it? And tell your mom, good job listening to her intuition. All right, Starry Sky, you're up. I just spilled on my sweatpants. I'm wearing sweats. Business above, cash below. Isn't that how we all do it now, though? I don't go out in public like this. I'm either all cash or all business. Starry Sky or Rock Dawn or Shaheen, you guys are up. How is everyone? Is everyone good? My lips are dry. I'll do this one. Hello, hello. Am I alone here? Yeah, do it, please. Post away. Post away. No need to say please. I called your name. Oh, there you are. Trying to lose weight, but I do depression eating. Don't do depression eating. I'm kidding. That's an easy answer, right? Like, and unhelpful too. Hi, Priya. You'll lose track of, like you'll get off of track. Okay. So, one, I feel like you will, but they're kind of like, this is like where the manifesting stuff comes in, right? Hi, Starry Sky. It's, doing the self-concept stuff, because that woman, Kim Velez, who I follow here, she's a licensed therapist. She said that she used to have depression and anxiety, and it was her mindset stuff that got rid of it. just reprogramming it, and that she doesn't suffer from anymore. And when she starts to feel kind of low, she starts to reprogram, like, I'm good enough, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I validate myself, I accept myself, I love myself, I'm lovable. um, Manifesting is a really big part. So then it's also like, um, so when you're feeling sad and depressed, instead of jumping for the food, jump for the affirmation, right? Because that food's really not going to fill up that empty space that you have. You are the only person who can create your own happiness. It's not ever going to come outside of you. So then I'm happy, I'm filled with joy, I create happiness within me. Um, I don't know anybody who's like, I'll be happy once I have that. And then they get there and they get that thing, or they move to that place and they still have the same stuff that they were suffering from before. I've had so many clients where I've seen that happen, with moving, especially. And it's like, it's not about your location, it's about your internal stuff going on. So it just feels like, work on the affirmations. So when you feel sad and you feel down, it's, I love myself, I love my body. Love your body where it's at. That's a huge part of it. It doesn't mean you can't want it to be healthier, but appreciate it for where it's at. I've said this before. Your body has, your legs and your feet have walked how many thousands and millions of steps in your lifetime. Appreciate that. Love that, right? Indian food is good though, right? So don't be afraid of food. Don't demonize food. It's okay. And then I really encourage you to do macros, right? So, and you want to make sure you're eating enough protein. Um, it doesn't mean cut food out of your diet or don't have. I watched a video today. I should link it below. This woman, that I follow on YouTube. And it was like, maybe I needed to hear it for this, but it was like, she was talking about like, this is how you lose weight. This is how you, while you're working out, this is how you lose weight. That's amazing. So why did you not? So here, you lost it, so you know you can. You've done it before, you know you can do it. Why did you gain it back? Macros. So macros are your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. And you always want to have good fats, right? So like avocado oil, coconut, olive oil. Those are the things you want to cook with. Avocado oil, I think, has a higher smoke point than olive oil. And that's so it can tolerate higher heats. Yeah, but here's the thing. You can manifest that your mom's getting better. Ignore reality. Of course she's going to get better. Of course she's going to get stronger. Of course she's going to heal. Even if you're like, I can't see her at 100%, of course she's going to get better. Of course she's going to get stronger. And of course she's going to heal. And your stuff is like, so you have to do the stuff along the way. It's not like it's just going to magically wake up. Like that's the other thing, is like, you manifest things, but there are steps along the way to get you there. So like if you told somebody outside, they're like, of course you made $30 million because you did all the work, but you didn't have the intuition and the knowing to go one way or the other until you maybe did these manifesting things, and creating it. It's a mindset thing. So of course I lose weight easily. Look, I've done it before. I can do this. I can lose weight easily and I can keep it off because I love myself. I love my body. I have the healthiest body. I'm in the best shape of my life. And it'll start moving you in that direction. I enjoy eating healthy. I enjoy, eating the foods that I know that my body needs. So you'll get there, but it's also about mindset. Our minds are very, very powerful. If you're working out and the whole time you're going, this is the worst, I can't do this, blah, 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 your mind will stop you every single time. When I do my workouts, I'm like, literally like, you can do this. Like sometimes I'll talk out loud, like, you got this, like, 10 more, one more, count, like, because especially if I'm doing, like, if my coach is there, then I don't do it. But like, if I do the workouts by myself those days, some days I am talking to myself. I am encouraging myself, because I'm investing in myself. If I don't invest in myself, literally no one will want to invest in me. If I don't value myself, no one will see the value in me. I mean, they might see it, but I won't believe it. I mean, how many times have you felt crappy about yourself and then, like, somebody's like, "Oh, you look really pretty," and you're like, "Yeah, you're only saying that because 'cause you're my friend." You don't believe it. You have to do the work to on yourself and invest in yourself to believe in yourself, okay? All right, Starry Sky. Will Billy, our nephew, get the time off around Christmas he requested from his job? We hope we all can go to Disney. Oh, I love Disney. And Universal this year instead of Puerto Rico, where he lives. Yes, he will. And I also feel like it's you manifesting it. So without doubt, just see it. I don't care if he comes back and is like, I still haven't heard anything and it's Thanksgiving. I don't care. I literally feel like, but I don't think it'll be that far. I just literally feel like it's done. It's done. We're all in Universal. We all went to Disney. This is the best. It was such a great vacation. It's done. Circumstances don't matter. Circumstances don't matter. So if when it starts to you start to doubt it or whatever, it's circumstances don't matter. Anything is possible. We're all in Disney. We had such a great time. Universal was amazing. My favorite ride was blah 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 blah. We got to eat the pick out whatever your favorite thing is. Okay. It's done. It's done. It's done. But I do feel like he'll be there. And I feel like I keep getting pulled to October. So I feel like maybe like the third week of October is when you guys find out. Subscribe, Priya, subscribe. If you're still here, subscribe so you can come back. So you'll know when I go to remind you. Okay, Shaheen, Mallory, Regine, you guys are up. You've been on for an hour and 11 minutes. Make a wish. Set an intention. Affirm how amazing you are and what a happy life you have. Looking to see if I missed anybody's questions. Mallory, what can you see for me this week? They said a lot is going down at work, major changes. So I don't know if you guys are going to have a lockdown again or if the numbers are up and you guys are going to have to, but it feels like something, does that make any sense? In the past 3 weeks, I've had strep, hurt my foot, and yesterday woke up with 6. Oh my God. Jeez. Okay, so the ear infection is a secondary infection related to the strep. Okay? That's what I feel. It actually is probably so it's when you get pink eye, when you get strep throat, and you get those ear infections, those are all the same bacteria. You're welcome, Starry Sky. So you need to work on your manifesting. I know I'm a big a-hole for saying that, but I just really feel like that will help you break in. Listen, I was like, oh, we have so much stuff in our freezer. One time I accidentally manifested like our fridge breaking. The freezer was completely empty then. So watch how you're doing things. Maybe you were worrying about having water in your basement because of all these people getting flooding and like, oh my God, what would I do if I had that? Don't imagine that shit. It's not happening to you. Stop imagining that stuff. Sometimes I think injuries where you're forced to like not be as active in movement is about the universe saying like, take a break, put your feet up and relax a little bit. It's time to like stop trying to do so much. But I feel like again, with work, something's going on at work where there's going to be some quick changes. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but there might also be a reason you're getting all of this stuff to where you're not, or it's like in a weird way getting protected. That sometimes we can't see that, but like having things that keep us out of work, because I know you work in the schools. Yeah, so that's what I feel like is like it gets shut down this week. So, um, is the 6 inches of water in the basement from like is it from flooding or is it feels like because I keep seeing like a broken pipe or maybe your hot water heater breaking or something? Oh, that seems like a lot for 6 inches because usually it's like maybe 1 or 2. All right, who's next? Your sump pump stopped. That would maybe be the pipe that I'm seeing that's like broken off. Okay. You're welcome. Shaheen. Hi, Annalisa. Hope you're doing well. My guides have any relationship advice for me? Who are you looking at? So can I ask you, is this with a specific person? And if it's with a specific person, do you mind giving me their name, please, Shaheen? I will totally. Maybe you needed some healing. Maybe you needed more of that energy. Maybe your house needs a little healing, a little zhuzh, little energy zhuzh. I will absolutely keep you in my thoughts this week. Um, Shaheen, if you're here, do you mind just giving me the name of the person you're interested in? And while you're doing that, I'm going to answer Regine's. Can you tell me more about the school I want to attend by January? I love healthcare administration. I don't know where to start. I literally, um, I feel like you're going to be doing something online first, and I would honestly look in the UW system, University of Wisconsin system. Um, JT. Okay, give me a second. I originally went to school for UW well, I went for nursing, then I switched to healthcare administration, and then I went back to nursing. But the school I was at happened to have a really fantastic healthcare administration program. So I would look at online through the University of Wisconsin, see what they have, and then also, I mean, look elsewhere too. But I kept getting shown something like that, and I feel like it's online, not in person. That's my sense. And it actually feels like it's a lot better education than you realize, and especially for the money. Like we all get caught up on like labels, like, oh, the Ivy League schools or like these schools are, and you can get a really amazing education at somewhere that's like not like that. Just my 2 cents. Okay, JT, let's see. Hope you're doing great. My God, I should have advice for you and JT. Do you have a clenched jaw right now, or do you get like a TMJ thing? And this is on my left side. You're welcome, Regine. Okay. It's so weird. I don't want to say that these guys aren't amazing, but I feel like y'all are underselling yourself big time. Because his energy just feels flat. It just feels there. It feels like minimal effort, just showing up and then expecting to be treated like a god. Like, I mean, I showed up. Isn't that enough? And it just feels like really needing to work on, again, investing in yourself and valuing yourself. And it like It doesn't mean like because you don't love yourself, you'll never find anybody. That's not it. Like there's plenty of people who've gotten into relationships and who've been married and everything else. But it's like the quality that you deserve and that you're looking for, you're not gonna get until you realize like I'm valuable. Right? You if you take it out of context of love and look at it as like a job, right? If you don't know your own worth, how are you going to sell you as a product to somebody else and be like, yeah, I deserve that? I mean, forever, I would be like, I had my I would actually do for a very long time. I would say like it's $100 for just like for the reading. So some readings might be 30 minutes, but some might be like 2 hours, which is fucking insane. So let's just go with that one. And second of all, I wasn't valuing myself. I was like, oh, I hope that they'll think I'm worth it. Stop that. Own it. It's okay to say that you're amazing and valuable. And like, he needs to show up without these breadcrumbs. He's got to show up or, show himself to the door. You're worth it. You're valuable. It's not really about like completing you. It's about you have a preference, and I might prefer to spend time with him because I'm amazing, and and of course he would want to be with me. Look, I can't tell you like, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't want to be like, yeah, they never show up. You look for all the good stuff and ignore all the red flags. I'm telling you what they're seeing, what they're showing me. Same thing with for Elizabeth earlier. I know what they're showing me. So I'm not changing that. It's like literally the energy is flat and he's standing there and doing nothing. They're showing like there's this like line and it's like he's just standing there. It's like, oh, all I have to do is show up. That's good enough. And I'm not saying like, oh, demand that he does everything else for me. Like it's not about that. It's like shift your energy that like I'm worthy, I am valuable, like I love myself, I respect myself. And even if you don't have to believe it, you just have to keep programming it in. Keep putting the code in, keep coding and recoding and recoding, and eventually it sticks. Eventually it sticks. And then you actually believe it. Varun, the list is closed right now, but if you subscribe and hit the like button, but if you subscribe, you'll get a reminder, and hit the bell. You'll get a reminder next week when I come live. All right. Not like that. When I go live on Sunday at 4 p.m., I'm here every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So okay, so do you want advice? It's not really about the relationship, it's about you. Advice is always going to be, go to that place of like, I say, why do I not feel valuable? But I can guarantee that's like back to childhood. And there's also like, I've said this before, I'll say it again. There's a lot of collective beliefs about women. And if you had, I came from I'm one of three girls, and I have three girls. As a child, I would hear like, oh, three daughters. Like I would hear that, or I would hear it in different versions of like how terrible it would be to have three daughters, only girls, especially when they're teenagers. Because, oh my God. Now, boys, if you have all boys, they're going to eat you out of house and home. Well, they eat a lot of food. So like girls are traumatizing to their families and boys are just going to eat a lot. Like there's these weird messages that get sent to us. There's something there where there's this underlying of feeling like I don't want to be too much. I don't want to rock like if I ask for too much, then that's like, what's too much? Nobody's saying you're going to be an asshole because you're like, hey, like I like to go do things. What's too much? So it feels like start loving on yourself a little bit. Start like investing in you as a person. And that's where it like kickstarts and makes everything like amazing. I got to be honest, I don't feel like JT is going to be in the picture very long. Because I feel like you're gonna like totally like elevate how you feel about yourself, like everything's just going to expand and you're going to be like, yeah, like you're going to be attracting in better quality. All right, Mariana, you and the job. Oh, I'm going to always lead you to manifesting with all this. You wrote that, right? um, so I feel like the third one is the one, like you'll get it. And I think I said that you might be offered several jobs. I don't remember, but or have like several, I don't know, options or something like that. But I feel like it'll get offered, but it's also like, no, you are quality. Stop feeling like an imposter. You're worthy, you're valuable, you're the best candidate, you're chosen. Like it doesn't cross anybody's mind that it's strange to say, like, I'm the worst or I'm not really that great. But it's totally like nuts to be like, I'm totally like, that's it. I'm the best. I literally got offered every single job I ever interviewed for because it just, to me, my belief system was like, of course they'll hire me. Duh. Like, I feel more delayed due to like internal stuff getting balanced out. And like, I know with like my husband here, there's stuff with people because they had like 6 feet of water in their basement. So everybody's not been in the office for the last couple of weeks that are normally in the office. So it feels like more related to that than it is about like not having quality. Um, so that's what it feels like to me. But it also like you need to just like decide this is what you want, own it, know you're worthy, know you're valuable. You're chosen, you're the best candidate, you have the best experience, all of that stuff. Okay. Allie, are you here? No fingers crossed. You don't need fingers crossed because you got this. You're gonna come back to me and you're gonna be like, I got the job because I knew I got it. I knew I deserved it. I knew I earned it. We are all manifesting for Mariana right now. We are all saying we just know that Mariana's gonna come back and she's gonna be like, Anna, you were right. I got the job. I worried for nothing. This was everything worked out perfectly. It's done. No fingers crossed. You don't need it. Okay, Allie, ask your questions. You're welcome, Mariana. So yeah, I do feel like your dad's gonna be able to find it. It feels like it's gonna be like a pre-owned vehicle. And it feels like it's they keep showing me the lot, like there's a lot on Route 10 in I think it's in East Hanover. Um and there's like they also have like a limo thing there that you can rent limos or something, but it's like I don't know. Like it's near where Florham Park High School is, but it's in East Hanover. Or no, is that Florham Park? Or is that no, that's East Hanover High School. Sorry. um, like that area. So it's something where it's like, yeah, it'll be in good condition. It feels like they're making me feel like the way my contractor was like buying a new van and he's like always telling me about getting really excited that he bought this used van, but it was in like fantastic shape and it was so much better and blah, 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 and he got such a great deal. So it feels like just manifest that for him, that he's going to come home to you and he's going to be like, oh no, or Allie, I got a van. I got a great deal on it. It was in great shape. But because it does feel like it's like, maybe it came off of a lease or something like that, but it feels like it's already been owned, but in really great shape. And then you want to know just any messages, general message from your guides. And there's something about 2 to 3 weeks. So it doesn't feel like it happens tomorrow, but it feels like it's a very short period of time. Are you okay? So they go, she needs to know that she's always running late because Like, you just need to set more alarms, and you need to, quit trying to squeeze every little thing in at the last minute and just set more alarms. It's not that you're, like, pay attention to what you say after I am. It's like if you're joking around, like, oh, I know I just can't get my shit together. Well, then you'll never be able to get your shit together. Like, oh, I'm never, I'm just a mess. Then you're going to always be a mess. Like, they're like sort of saying, like, you're, I mean, it may be a little bit of ADHD, but it's like set more alarms. Well, then instead of being sad for him, because that doesn't help him, right? Of course, you don't want to see your loved ones stressed, but being sad for him doesn't help him. You know that manifesting works. So just circumstances don't matter. I don't care what his state is or what he's saying, what's coming out of his mouth, or, all the worry that's around him. I know that I can manifest this for him. Okay. And I know that he's going to get a van. He's got the van. I already know it. I see it. Imagine the white van or whatever color it is in your head. Imagine it. It's like it's in great shape. He got a great price from it. It's like less than he actually even had budgeted to spend. It all worked out perfectly. Best case scenario. It's done. It's done. He doesn't have to worry about it. And anytime you see him get worried and it starts to trigger you, circumstances don't matter. It's done. That van is taken care of. It's done. I'm not worried about it. So as far as you go, does this make sense for like being late? And they're saying like set alarms for yourself, set reminders for yourself. And I also feel like you tend to get down on yourself about not being enough. But it feels like, get a notebook and write down everything you accomplished that day, or each like set goals, your daily goals, that you get those done so that you stop being like, oh, I'm only doing this. So then if you like hit your daily goals and you hit them early, then add to that list. But it's like, stop being down on yourself. And then also like set alarms and reminders more instead of going, oh, I have to leave in 10 minutes and then start doing something else. Like, stop doing that. If you see that you need to leave in 10 minutes, just get ready to go. Don't go like, oh, I can get something else done. Don't do that, because it's actually causing you to be late and it's creating a pattern. And then you reinforce that pattern by being like, when you get somewhere, be like, oh, I'm just such a mess. Or like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what they're talking about. Yeah. So it's like make lists, set goals, and then if you get more done, great. And if you don't, you've made your goals. And it's literally like make 2 or 3 goals a day. Don't, 5 at most. Get them done. And then something else that like helps you procrastinate from like not feeling overwhelmed is put next to what your goal is, like how long you think you're going to estimate that it's going to take. See if and then when you've completed it, write down how long it actually took you to do. So you can start having an actual idea of like, oh, I thought it would only take me 10 minutes, but something like that actually takes me an hour. So I need to like, leave more time or realize that's a bigger goal than I think. And don't just be like, oh, I need to clean the house. Like, be like, just clean a room. Be realistic in your goals. So you're not always feeling like you're not enough. So you feel accomplished and good about yourself. It shifts the energy. It stops making you say those negative things about yourself. You start to shift and realize, oh, I get a lot done. Actually, I'm really good at this. And like, oh, look, I'm starting to be on time all the time. That's really amazing. I'm always on time now. Okay. Dupree, Leo sign, EC. You guys are up. Awesome. You're welcome. Dupree, Leo sign, EC. You guys are up. Leo sign. Can you see any positive things happening for me in October? That means you're feeling down. So I'm going to the manifesting thing. I'm going to go back to that. My tagline is empowering your journey. So I want you to learn everybody to feel powerful and not feel like they're just a pinball being bounced around. I know that feeling. It's a shit, shit, shit feeling, and you don't have to feel that way. So I'm not dismissing how you're feeling by any means or saying like book up, but I'm saying like it is possible to feel better. I do see good things happening to you in October, but I keep getting pulled to the third or the third week of October. Um, but what's interesting to me is like it actually feels like it's bigger than it'll seem in the moment, but it feels like it won't make sense till down the line that it was actually a pivotal moment for you. I feel like I'm holding my breath, like I can't breathe. I don't think that this is gonna happen for you, but I just feel like such bad anxiety that it's like making me feel like I can't breathe or I'm having panic attacks. So here's what I want you to do. You have an affirmation there that says, and like a belief, it says, life can always be better. Now, to me, it means like things aren't good enough right now. So being content doesn't mean I don't strive for more. It means like life is really good right now. Life is amazing. And if you start owning that for what it is, it doesn't mean everything is perfect. I didn't say life is perfect. I said life is amazing. I always get to see magical things. Like I see the magic and beauty in the universe. Every day I am in awe and wonder of how incredible the world is. Does it mean that everything is perfect? No. Does it mean that there aren't shitty people in the world or aren't shitty things happening all over? No. But I am creating the affirmation that I'm always seeing those things. And I always see really amazing things. And it isn't about the lottery landing in my lap. It's about sitting outside and looking at the trees and the beauty and the birds and how just the world goes round. Life keeps happening and it's amazing. I think it's a very like it's like to me it's like of course good things are going to happen to you in October. What are you wanting to happen to you? Like what are you looking at? Do you want to look at your relationship because that's a very very broad question for 2 minutes that I need to get through like all these other questions and I'm already an hour and a half in. So and I feel like I'm taking up KK's time. So what do you want to look at? Do you want to look at love, career, personal life, health? I gotta be honest with you, like I see good things happening, but I also feel like you have this like the glass is half empty kind of attitude, like ho hum. And so it's like we're gonna bring more of that to you. Book, contract, and money. Okay. Financial stability. Okay. I don't, so here's what I'm gonna say. I don't have that feeling in October that I am satisfied where I'm at financially. I literally feel like I'm like just over the top of where, like, if my budget is $1,000 a month, I know that's like not realistic. I'm just giving an example. I feel like I make 1,100. So I just made it by. And it's still this idea again, like the glass is half empty. I'm looking at life in lack and limit. So it's like, I don't have a book deal. I don't have a book deal. I don't have a book deal. Oh, you don't have a book deal? Okay, yeah, we'll keep showing you that you don't have a book deal. So it's like, of course, I got a book deal. Of course, I got a book deal because that book and what I wrote was amazing. That was amazing. It was exactly what people needed, and I wrote it with, it was great. Of course, somebody wanted to give me a book deal on that. And then stop panicking going, it's not here, it's not here, it's not here. Because you know what? Maybe it's the 40th person that reads that, the 40th agent that reads it and goes, we're getting you a book deal because this is fucking great. I just read a post from this woman who I think she's manages actors and actresses or something. I don't know what she does now, but she followed me on Facebook and I followed her. And I was like, oh, she's, interesting. And she believes up like some of the spiritual stuff. So I'll go with it. But she posted something about that guy, Joe Mangello, I think that's how you say his last name. He's married to Sofia Vergara, and she used to manage him. She said when he first started, he like casting directors would be like, I don't think I have, like, he's not hot enough, whatever. This man is gorgeous. Okay. He's ripped. And I saw two things happen there. And she said, don't let somebody decide that your value and your worth for you, basically, is what she basically said. But then I thought, oh, well, how does this translate for him? Well, I know, because I saw some story at some point that, like, an origin story of his, and it was like, he was this skinny little guy until he was like tiny, right? And then he like started working out and stuff. It's like, so maybe his belief system when he first started out was like, I'm not hot enough. I'm not that, because he had that origin story of like being a little skinny guy with glasses, right? So what's your origin story about your money? Look at that. I don't see that. They're not showing me that shifting in October or November or December. It actually feels like it's not until February that I feel like, again, it's like a little bit more time before I feel like, oh, wait, I can do this. I got this. Money's coming in, and I feel like it's more of a consistent flow. And I feel like, okay, I can trust this now. I got somebody visiting us. Hi. What's wrong that you need me and not daddy?
I was just gonna say if you're done.
I'm not done. Okay. I'll be up in a little while.
It's taking so long.
It is taking so long. I got a long list, but can I finish it?
What are these?
They're mints. You can have one.
Are they actually minty?
Yeah, they are minty.
Like really minty?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of this and it's live. You can take one. If you don't like it, just spit it in the garbage.
Oh,
Love you.
love you.
Okay. There's affirmations that you can listen to. I like, I talk about liking Dylan James. He's got great affirmations. Listen to those about, and here's the other thing. Listen to High Rising Queen. Listen to, don't do the money manifestor one. Listen to the self-concept one, limitless manifestor first. Do it for 30 days. I had a client who I recommended to, and then she was like bouncing around and doing different ones. And she was not getting a consistency of reaffirming things. And then I want you to write down every single day. Of course I got that book deal, because I am a great writer, because I'm talented, because I'm chosen, because I'm valuable, because I'm the best candidate for this book. Yeah, maybe it's a topic that other people have written about, but you know what? There's a million doctors, there's a million nurses, there's a million readers. Like, the right people will find you, and you need to trust that in the universe. The right people always find me. I'm divinely connected to the people that are going to help bring this dream into me. It's done. I'm not worried about it. But I don't see that happening for a little while. And I feel like that's more about being blocked and having a limited belief system than anything. Leo sign. Oh, that was yours, Leo sign. Sorry. Where's Dupree? Did I answer Dupree's? Sorry. I know that's not exactly what you want to hear, but A, I don't always tell people what they want to hear. And B, I think it's more beneficial for me to show you how to make huge shifts in your life than it is for me to just like give you an answer and be like, this is when I see it's happening, because you can change so much more. You can create the life you want. EC, an opportunity to work more closely with an ALS doctor has come up and would like to know the prospects of working with this doctor look like. So what would it be like to work with him? The first word I heard was a little stingy, so it might be harder to get a pay raise from him. And I feel like he's very policy procedure oriented, like very to the book, to the T, and is not like really like like he might be like, oh, let's try this with the treatment, but he always is like, we have to do it this way in this format, and like doesn't want to veer to that, off of that path. I don't feel like he's overly friendly, but I don't feel like it's because he doesn't like you. It just feels like his personality is like very focused. And they just said he loves what he does. And he's very knowledgeable and loves to teach, but it's sort of like, but he doesn't want to get into the nitty gritty of your life. So that works for some people and not others. So I feel like because he's like, he's very numbers oriented, it just feels like, know your value and your worth and create that and like decide that you'll get that amount and then you'll get it. But I don't feel like you'll get like if it's more, it's just like a smidge more. Yeah, following protocols. Like he's very much like about following protocols. So like, dot your I's, cross your T's, like, make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. By protocol. So so he very much has his way of doing things, and don't think of it as me offering counterbalance, because I just feel like you need to fit in there versus like it'll work out okay, but don't feel like it's like to offset some other energy or something like that. He loves what he does and he loves teaching, but he also is, and when I say very policy and procedure protocol, like this is the way we do things. We don't change the way we do things. This is how it's done. So maybe that's why they say that, because you're going like, oh, I'm going to offer a counterbalance to that. And they're like, this is the way he does things. So this is the way it's done. Okay. And then what's your second question? And then Laura H, if you want to ask yours. Dupree, are you here? The list is closed, Nanny. So if you want to, if you subscribe and then hit the bell and then, or go to my website and subscribe, you'll get a letter and a reminder to come back next week at 4:00. I was thinking, man, okay. Easy. What's your second question? You're welcome. And Laura H, if you want to ask, Sunflower Soul, if you want to ask, Shar, if you want to ask, you guys are up. And then Dupree, if you're here, not, we'll just refund money, I guess. So it's the same stuff with what they're talking about. They're like, manifest it, decide that you can do it and it's possible. Have a vision and stick with it and persist. Don't doubt yourself. Quit having a fear of failure. You cannot succeed if you aren't willing to like take the chance of failing. You're not gonna fail, but it feels like just do it. Go ahead and ask your question, Sunflower Soul. So it's not really about what you should be doing, more so about what you should be thinking. Start looking at becoming an observer of your world. It isn't so much about, oh my God, what do I need to make? Like you can do all the affirmations, but also become an observer of your world. Look at what interactions happen around you and like how people treat you. Remember, it's not just, they're not reflecting who you are as a person. They're reflecting your beliefs about who you are as a person. Right? So if they're treating you with respect and stuff, oh, I respect myself. That's pretty cool. Like that's like inherent that I do that. Like, oh, they, they're kind and like, people will reflect the good too. So it's not just, oh, there's that treat me like crappy, or they don't show up, or they aren't on time, or well, being on time is really, I think, about respect. Right? Shar, if you want to ask your questions too, you can start. I don't care about, by the way, sunflower soul for the future. I don't really care about anybody's sun signs or whatever. I don't care about that stuff. I know other people do. It's not my thing. I know a reader she's a fantastic reader, but she likes to know when she sits down to do the reading, she likes to know your birth certificate name and your date of birth. And I don't really do any of that. I like your first name. I'm good with that. I'm good on a first name basis. Shall we say that? I don't need all the details. So it just feels like it's not so much about what so it's like really starting to look at how your inner world is being mirrored out here in your outer world. And also look at what other people are doing and what they're creating in their life. Because sometimes it's just about, like, if you can see it without the emotional attachment, so you watch other people, it's like, what follows I am? What follows I am? What words, what statements, what completes that sentence? And then pay attention to what you're saying, like even in jest, because your subconscious does not have a sense of humor. It's literal. It's literal. It's like a toddler. Toddlers, little kids, until they're about 10 years old, are quite literal. They don't start to, their mind is not developed enough to understand sarcasm and things like that. So it's very literal. That's what your subconscious is. And really, you build all of your core beliefs from the ages of 0 to 5. So think about that. Your subconscious is your core beliefs, your core, understanding of the world, and it's literal. So if someone said to you, like, I'll see people say things like, they'll say things and like the kid's like, huh, what? It's like, who's just joking? Well, your kid doesn't get that, and neither does your subconscious. So don't say, fuck my life. Don't say, I'm a disaster, I'm a mess, I can't get it together. Then that's what your subconscious keeps reaffirming. Oh, she can't get it together? We're going to make sure she can't get it together. We're going to make sure her life is shitty, that she's constantly going, fuck my life. Like, things could always be better. I heard somebody say that. So I saw somebody say that. So I'm saying that things could always be better. Well, that's because you're sort of focusing on the stuff that's not working for you. So that's what they're saying. It's like, look, start really focusing on paying attention to what's going on. I hope that satisfied your question or helped in some way. Shar, you're up. Sunflower's up. Okay, so I've got Sunflower. Let me see. You've got one question here. What is Kai's current feelings for me? Okay. No. You just asked 3 questions. You paid for 1. So, I'll just do this to make it general, to make it a 1. I'm going to teach you how to do this. Where do you see our relationship headed? Because then that includes all of that. But when you ask it that way, that's 3 different questions. That becomes like a full, huge reading. So where do you see our relationship headed? Okay. And also, have you thought about, what are my feelings for him? Is he that amazing? You're not in communication right now. Okay, well, so then say that. We're not in communication. So it's not that I don't believe that it's possible to bring someone into your life that you're not in communication with, or to heal a situation. So here's what I feel like. I'm assuming, by the law of assumption, that you understand all of this stuff, and that's sort of what brought you here. I feel like you'll hear from him like in 2 months. I don't feel like you'll end up together or married and have kids and stuff, because I feel like what happens is he comes back in 2 months, and yes, you can manifest someone to be the person that you want, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like you've worked on yourself so much, he comes back and you're like, yeah, he's not all that. And and then like it's again, like somebody else, like you attract in so much more that you're like, this guy's actually a better quality. I'm going with him. I just heard the name Cameron. I don't know if that makes any sense, or it might down the road. So it might be a street, it might be like a street of somewhere that Cameron Road or something like that, or it might be the person's name, or it might be a last name, or I don't know, it might be a business you meet in, something like that. So it just feels like you're working on yourself and sort of starting to understand all the manifesting and mindset and everything else. And while you're like working on your self concept, he ends up coming back in, but it's not what you want anymore. Like it's like small potatoes and you're ready for the whole big enchilada. My husband and I were reading, there's a new Mexican restaurant that opened up near us, and we were reading this review, and this woman was like, I don't know if you know the difference between a taquito and an enchilada, but like the person's like, I think she thought she was ordering taquitos because she was like, there was red sauce all over it. I'm like, lady, enchiladas covered in sauce everywhere. That is how they are. They are not crispy. She's like, I had to eat it with a fork and a knife. I go, she thought she was getting a taquito, I think, or a flauta or something, but that was like not anyway. Anyhow. So that's what I feel sunflowers like. It's like you're gonna glow up, as they say, and that it's no longer gonna be. Are you a Pisces? And it's funny because I feel like Kai is a little full of himself. You're a Taurus. Do you have Pisces in your chart? Welcome, Shannon. I know he's a Leo, but do you have Pisces in your chart? There was just something that I just heard Pisces, so I don't know what that is. Okay. North Node, is that the same as rising or ascending? Okay. So I just think that's more of a validation for me to like know that I'm on the right track with that I'm hearing it right. Because like they're like, it seems obvious, but sometimes that's like really the answer is the most obvious thing. Like your intuition is sometimes when you're missing connecting with it or whatever, it's because you're not doing the most obvious thing or asking the most obvious questions. Okay, so let me move on just because it's late. I'm in 2 hours in. Oh, I think I didn't limit my list soon enough. Laura H, I'd love to know if there's a major positive shift in my mental health soon. And then you wrote something else here. Oh, okay, yeah. And then question 2 is, I'm currently a teacher, but honestly, I'm a bit lost. I wonder if there's a better career path. Really good at. Okay. So there's a lot of this theme coming up tonight. So I wanna make sure that you guys understand this, that you get brought into certain readings with certain people getting the same kind of message over and over, and you're like, oh, I don't know, you keep telling everybody the same thing. Like attracts like. I've seen it happen where I'll do several readings where I'm like, oh, all these women are going through divorce, or all these women are going through a job change or whatever. Or, like there's a lot of death on the horizon or a lot of illness. It happens that way. You'll ask, a lot of readers will have that, or I'll go to circles and it'll be a lot of the same kind of energy. So it's just this feeling of taking ownership, right? Okay. So I am valuable. Depression can be about self